fun. And they would also hold like events for kids in the neighborhood. Corey Maggette and Michael Olowokandi would be there. Keon Dooling would be there, and all these players that I had access to them in a way. You know, you see Quinn Richardson and Darius Miles at the Fox Hills Mall when I was a kid, like just walking around, and nobody really cared about them because they were on the Clippers at that time.
Welcome into Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Oslin. Second show so far this week. If you missed Monday's show, we had Young Masuk on from ESPN. Talked with him about the Clippers offseason. He wrote a fabulous article regarding Coach Lue, Jeff Van Gundy, and Kawhi Leonard. Gave updates on the Clippers and where they're at heading into this season, as we're just about a week and a half away from Media Day. I'll be there. Join the show, though, right now. Here on Clippers Talk is an actor, a comedian. You've seen him on Arrested Development, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Grand Crew, of course, and recently in Old Dads on Netflix, underrated. And now he's on the writing staff for the 50th season of Saturday Night Live. Live from New York, it's Carl Tart here on Clippers Talk. Carl, my friend, how we doing?
Wow, Adam. Can you believe it? Can you believe we in New York?
Well, I can believe you are. I wouldn't be, they wouldn't let me in. I am extremely proud of the fact that this happened this week. We were already talking about you coming on the show, but the news coinciding with this makes it even more special for you coming on today. So also, if you need to get to Carl, he's not on Twitter. At least you got to find his burner. At Damn It Carl, though, on the gram, he and his 50,000 followers. You can get to him on there. But Carl, I want to talk Clippers a lot, and we'll talk about the new jerseys and some of the past jerseys. But first, let's talk about show business a little bit with you. I want to get the rundown on your resume. What has occurred with Saturday Night Live bringing you in, not just for any season, the 50th season? This is kind of a big deal, and it's just your second day. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's a dream come true. I've been wanting to do this since I was a kid. And so to be here is very exciting. I'm very, very grateful to be here. I'm excited to be here this season. I think it's going to be pretty wild. I think it's going to be a wild season. There's going to be some cool people coming in. They just released the first 5 episodes right now, so there's some really cool people coming in. Your favorite artist, Chapel Roan, will be here. And
okay. You wrote for Mad TV in the past.
I have.
You've had a lot of writing credentials on your IMDb, as I was stalking that earlier. How do you go about the interview process to get on with SNL? Were you talking with Lorne Michaels? Like, who's calling you?
I did talk to Lorne Michaels. He's a very nice guy. So what happened was I auditioned to be in the cast, of course. And that's been percolating for a couple years, but I've been pretty silent about it. And we settled on the writer's room just due to some personnel stuff, and it just felt like a good opportunity to be here this season, and they felt pretty confident in me, and I want to make sure I'm allowing them to feel that way. I want to make sure I'm doing a good job here. So I'm just excited to be here, man. We're coming off a strike, bro. So a job is a job, and I've never lived in New York. I've always been West Coast and South my whole life, so never lived over here. So I just like, why not have a little change for a few months, right?
Have any legends contacted you congratulating you on the gig?
No legends yet. Well, I mean, legends. Some of my friends who are legends, Paul Shears of the world, the Phil Lords of the world.
Yes, sir.
All the Clipper fan legends have hit me up,
What you talk about, this is a dream of yours. When did you really become a super fan with Saturday Night Live? Like, what was your era of Saturday Night Live growing up that you loved the most?
I mean, I got to say when I was in high school. So between like the 04 to 08 years, the years where the women were kind of running the show, the Amy Poehler and Kristen Wiig, and the end of Tina Fey's era, the Maya Rudolph era, like that, around that time where it was just really dope. It was great sketches every week and everything. I think that's kind of everybody's golden years though. But I had watched it since I was the young kid. So I had watched it since the late 90s. But I didn't understand everything because I was really young. But once I got to high school and, I never missed an episode. I didn't go out too often. I was at home watching SNL and Mad TV and stuff. So having that Saturday night playing
And
But
now you've already written for Mad TV. You got SNL now coming up.
yeah,
Like,
man, I'm one of very few people who've done both. So that's pretty cool.
ooh, not easy. Coke and Pepsi approved here,
Yeah.
Carl Tart. Doesn't matter what side you're on. He's helping run things now in the writer's room. Who are some of your favorite guest hosts and some of the legends that you've appreciated? Maybe from back in the day, if you're a Bill Murray guy or Chevy Chase or Dan Aykroyd. And then later on, they come back and they're the Five Timers Club and all that.
Yeah.
So
I
who are those
always
guys?
I never miss the athlete episodes because that's always fun. So when Barkley's on or when Peyton Manning is on, I think Peyton Manning is one of my favorite hosts. And then the people who are like good comedy people, the Chappelle episode's always great. People who because the host has a lot of say in how the sketches are picked. And so to have a person on who has that funny bone, but like also Tom Hanks and Alec Baldwin, people like that who are always great.
Christopher Walken, my guy.
Yeah, he hasn't
The
been on in a while, huh?
Continental.
Yeah, that's a great sketch. The more cowbell and everything. Those historic episodes. Yeah, man. I'm excited to be in the family. I'm excited to when they come out with the book. I'm excited to have my name in there. You know.
Hell yeah. Carl Tart, Clippers super fan, SNL super fan, now employed by
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live. He'll be a writer for season 50 here. You know about this a little bit from your days with Mad TV, but what type of pressure cooker is it the week leading up to Saturday where you know you have a set deadline every week?
Well, here's the difference between this and Mad TV. Mad TV was not live. Mad TV was all pre-tape. So you get to do the sketches again. And let me just tell you this. I've only been here for one day. I did my little orientation yesterday and I'm still getting the lay of the land. But I can already tell, like during my orientation, during a tour through the building, I was like, oh, this is about to be wild. Like this is about to be something unlike anything I've ever experienced. Like this is like old school show business, and it still ran very old school, which is the kind of the coolest part about it. Like the cue cards are still handwritten by these guys, and like they don't use prompters, and they don't use like it's the studio that it's in is extremely old. You know, it was where like the Tonight Show was back in like the 50s or something. It's like it's really cool. There's like elevators in the building that don't work anymore. Go to different floors that who knows what's on the floor of that building. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's some really cool secrets in this building, 30 Rock.
It's got a lot of character to it.
Yeah.
Do you know yet how the workload is divided up in the writer's room? Do some people just work on the monologue? Do some work on specified skits? Or does everybody work on everything together?
Kind of a little bit of both of those things. You know, I'm very new here, so I don't really have a ton of authority to talk on it. But like, there's people who work on like Weekend Update has specific writers and there's specific producers, and then the Cold Open has specific producers. Monologue has different writers, but those writers also write sketches for the show, and we all write on Tuesday nights, and we all like we have a pitch meeting, and then we go away and do some ideas and pitch on those ideas, and then come back and write them on Tuesday, do a table read Wednesday, and then do some rewriting Thursday, and Friday it's time to start loading up the show.
You mentioned Weekend Update there, and you got me thinking about one of my goats, Norm Macdonald, one of my favorites of all time. Rest in peace. When it comes to you and your style, how have you developed your own writing process over the years? And what type of comedy style would you say is most close to Carl Tart?
I think most closest to me is just really silly stuff. Like my favorite TV show is Family Guy. SNL is my favorite TV show, but Family Guy is my favorite TV show. So stuff like that, like, and 30 Rock, honestly, like second favorite. And so like just irreverent, super silly, but also very smart, like super joke heavy, but like jokes are so smart or so stupid that they're smart. You know what I mean? Like it's like I can't believe that was said. I can't, like, Yeah. So it's a really cool. I like that stuff. I like having a twist, an extra layer. You know what I mean? So we got the base layer of comedy, but then something is said that there's multitudes to this one thing. You know what I mean? I like that. That's my style.
Besides Saturday Night Live, what are your other favorite sketch comedy shows? I know you've written for a few. Not just Mad TV either.
I grew up with Living Color and all that, and Mad. So like those, kind of like how we all are if we are of a certain age. Like, and Living Color was amazing. going back and watching that. Everything doesn't hold up too well, but a lot of stuff is pretty good, and all that, like seeing kids do it at that time was really cool as well.
What about some of the newer stuff with the Whitest Kids You Know or Key and Peele?
Oh, Key and Peele, of course, Chappelle Show, and also I Think You Should Leave, like Tim Robinson, a former SNL writer, a good buddy of mine, him as well. Like what he did was kind of like brought back like edge in comedy and like really silly stuff. He has one of the strongest voices, one of the strongest, most unique voices in comedy, and I think he's able to really show that on I Think You Should Leave.
I had Paul Scheer on and I asked him the same question. It's different for everybody. I know it's a personal decision, but how do you view what's acceptable for you comedically and what could be crossing the line at some point? Do you have your own philosophy on what you think is funny and you're not going to go over this threshold here?
Yeah, I think anything is on limits if it's smart. Like it has to be, you have to have an opinion on it. You have to have a take on it. It can't just be these people are bad because they're weird. No, you have to have like that. That's what I mean by that extra layer. You have to have a take. You have to have a educated take, a well-researched take. And in my opinion, anything is on limits if you have done the work. So, people say, oh, you can't do anything anymore. You can't say anything because cancel's like, no, people think they're funny when they're not. And they'll just say something offensive and go, well, come on, man, that's a joke. I'm being funny. It's like, well, you're not being funny. Like truly by definition of what funny is, you're not doing that. You're just saying something that's mean and maybe what you would consider edgy, but it doesn't, you're not really making a point. You don't have an opinion. You don't have a take. Your opinion can't just be, I don't like these people, so I'm going to say something mean about them. Like it can't just be that. You have to have, but anything can be. We can all be made fun of, I think, and life is funny, and this world is funny, and as bad as it is, it's equally funny with things that happen, with what things that people say, and I think bad people can be made fun of at all times.
Do you have a Mount Rushmore of your favorite comedians of all time?
Yeah, I'm on my Mount Rushmore. Who personally inspired me is Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle. Comedian Samore. You know who Samore is? You ever heard that name before? It's a woman.
I want to say, I thought I caught her at the Improv once in Brea, but maybe not.
You definitely probably did. And who else? Oh, and Red Fox. That's what I'm saying.
Sanford and Son, one of the greatest shows of all time. What are some of your favorite comedies ever that helped form your comedic foundation?
Well, of course, Family Guy. 100%. And then I would say Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
With John C. Reilly.
Yeah. Coming to America is one of those. Martin's movies like Blue Streak and Nothing to Lose. And
Nothing to Lose is one of my favorites ever. Very underrated with he and Tim Robbins. That's one of the greatest to me.
And like Rush Hour. Rush Hour is always very funny. Just movies that you can go back and watch over and over again.
What are some of the programs you've been a part of? I mentioned it earlier, going through your IMDb, that you're proud of and you want everybody to learn about Carl Tart through these features that you've been on before. I just saw you in Old Dads. That's kind of how I got to thinking about, I need to get Carl Tart on. And you were very good. You were very good. I love seeing you and Bill Burr interact. That was fun.
That was cool, right?
What's some of the stuff that people should check out?
I got to go to my go-to, man. The thing that changed my life for the better in an amazing way is Grand Crew. It's still on Peacock if you want to watch it. Both seasons fully available on Peacock. If you have that app, it's called Grand Crew, and it's a show I got to do with my friends, and I'm super proud of it. And I loved being there. Unfortunately, our run ended a little bit shorter than what we wanted, but got 2 seasons out of it, and it's in the pantheon of TV and lives on NBC and Peacock forever, however long they exist. Hopefully a long time. But I'd say go look at that. And then if you want to see something fun that I wrote and acted, go and check out. Let me think. How do I'm trying to remember what episode it was. Let me Google and see what episode it was. But it's the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine I was in. It was called The Crime Scene. I think it's season 5, episode 6 or something like that. But
I see
I
they
could be
got you
wrong
down
about
for
that.
writing 5 episodes here on IMDb. Am I wrong?
Well, I didn't write 5 episodes, but I was a story editor, so I contributed on. I
Okay,
contributed on the whole
collaborator.
season.
Yeah, yeah,
Contributed
yeah.
on 18 episodes, but
Ooh.
that was the episode that I acted in. Was called The Crime Scene, and I also got to write that part. Like I wrote kind of improvised that part in the room, and they were like, "Oh, read it at the table read," because a little TV insider info on shows like that. Before they hire the guest stars, we have the table read like a week before a few days before they hire the guest stars, and so all the writers perform those guest star parts along with the cast, and I performed that part that I had just written, and they were like, "Well, Carl's gonna do that on the show," and I was like, "Great, yeah." So I got to do it.
What's Andy like?
He's a great guy, and he's a great dude.
Who are some of the people you're
I
going
work with
for?
Andy quite a bit.
Okay. Who are some of the people when you're going for the job with SNL that you're saying, hey, I got a reference right here. This is my guy in my corner vouching for me, saying I'd be good for this job.
Definitely Definitely Andy Samberg. He would vouch for me. Tim Robinson would vouch for me. I have a lot of current cast members, Ego Wodum and Sarah Sherman and James Austin Johnson. They vouch for me. Current writers that I know from the comedy scene, they vouch for me.
You
Former
mentioned
writers and actors on the show, yeah.
an artist earlier. Who are some of the I don't know, want you to give anything away. I don't want to get you in trouble or anything like that. But what tidbit or what tease could you give us for season 50 of SNL?
It's gonna be fun and it's gonna be crazy. I can't tell you anything. I can't say a word. I just signed a real ironclad contract that will get me right up out of here. But I'll tell you this: stay tuned to every episode. This season's gonna be real fun, and people are gonna enjoy it.
I got a feeling Eddie Murphy's going to be there somewhere. I can't wait.
I don't know.
I didn't hear that. I'm just guessing.
I hope he is. I hope he is. I would love to meet him.
Christopher Walken, you said it. He hadn't done an episode in a while. Come on, bring back the Continental, please. All right, Carl. I appreciate you dispensing all that here on Clippers Talk, and we are very proud of you. I know you've been coming on with Clips and Dip and been coming on with Will Updike and Chuck Malka for a long time, and I've been lucky enough to get to know you now, too. So it was pretty exciting when somebody added me on the tweet that said season 50 of Saturday Night Live will have Carl Tart on as one of the writers. It's big time, man. It's unbelievable. So big time congrats to you. Let's talk some Clippers. The team you love. I'm just hoping you're not going to be attached to the Brooklyn Nets or the New York Knicks just because you're in New York now. I mean,
well, our old friend Charlie Widows, who used to work for the Clippers, is now working for the Brooklyn Nets. I will not be a Knicks fan. I got my team, and even though I might be sitting in some NBC sanctioned, SNL sanctioned New York Knicks seats, when the Clippers come to town, I will be rocking the red, white, and blue.
What got you started? We've talked about origin stories recently on Clips and Dip and why we became Clippers fans. We're all coming from a different place, although Chuck and Will are both coming from Montana. So yeah. What got you started with going through this journey? And I know a lot of it for Clipper Nation. It has been a tough one, but we love them.
We love them. I can't quit them. Since I was a kid, I moved to LA when I was about 7 years old. And I used to be in Big Brothers Big Sisters program and Boys and Girls Club and stuff like that. And they would give out free tickets. For the kids. And the first game I ever went to, the first NBA game I ever went to was a Clippers game. And the day of, my stepfather, who was a LA native, diehard fan of the other team, and he was roasting me for having these free tickets. And you know how kids are when a new parental figure comes in their life, and they're like, "Man, you ain't my dad. I don't even like you." So I was very much defiantly rooting for the Clippers all those years. And then as time went on, in the first game I ever went to, I think was 1999, and it was Lamar Odom's rookie year, or maybe it was the end of the season previously before he got drafted. So the 98-99 season, not the 99-2000 season, and I went to my first game at the end of the 98-99 season, had a great time. Our seats were way up at the top of the sports arena, and the workers, they were like, "You guys can move down if you want to." So we got to go closer to the court. I'm sure a lot of people in LA have that same origin story. And then Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles came, and that team was super fun. And they would also hold like events for kids in the neighborhood. Corey Maggette and Michael Olowokandi would be there. Keon Dooling would be there, and all these players that I had access to them in a way. You know, you see Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles at the Fox Hills Mall when I was a kid, like just walking around, and nobody really cared about them because they were on the Clippers at that time. But like, you would just see them out. Like it felt like that team just felt accessible. It just felt like an accessible team. And then, you know, by the time I got to like high school and stuff, when they had a couple good years, the Sam Cassell, Chauncey Billups, Sean Livingston years, the Cuttino Mobley years, like those years were great and super fun to watch and super fun to be a part of. I just kind of got glued to them. And it became an identity thing. Like, because people would see you walking down the street in the Clippers hoodie, which were very hard to find back then. Donald Sterling was not good with merch. But
or anything.
But you'd find a t-shirt or a set of pajamas or a hoodie or something like that at like Marshalls or TJ Maxx, and I would get it every time I saw it. And
like instead of going from some other place to Marshalls later on because there's some defect, it just went straight to Marshalls.
Yeah, exactly. And I would buy that stuff, and I'd be walking around high school in my Clippers hoodie, and people like Clippers, oh, I'm like, yo, man, like I took them on as an identity. So that's my squad. I got 25 years in the game with these guys, and I ain't backing down no time soon because we got the new owner and Steve Ballmer, and you know, things haven't worked out exactly how we wanted them since he's been here, but it's only up from here, man. It's only up. We can't go back. Like, it's almost impossible.
I like what you said there because it's almost like every Clipper fan had their own personal relationship with this team and why they became a Clippers fan, because they weren't the Lakers. They weren't as well known. And it feels like, I don't know, you're closer. You mentioned how accessible guys were back then, but regardless, it just feels like you're closer to this team.
Yeah.
Because you're a part of history being made in the moment, because the first championship they win, you can be there for that. It's more meaningful instead of a team that has, I don't know, 17 of them already. Yeah. What's one more? What does that mean to you? Who was your favorite player of the guys that you looked up to growing up? You mentioned the knuckleheads. You mentioned Sam Cassell, Cuttino Mobley, Elton Brand, Corey Maggette. Who was your guy that you really latched onto?
I'll tell you who my guy was. Baron Davis.
Okay.
Baron Davis is my guy. BD is my guy. Like, loved watching him play. LA native. You also very accessible. You see him at open runs. You see him at UCLA playing. You see him at the Westchester runs. By the time I got to high school and I was a basketball player myself, we'd be at runs with, and BD would be there. He was my guy. Before that, it was Darius Miles. Like Darius Miles, I've always I loved his game when I first started watching, of course, and Lamar Odom, and Elton Brand too. Elton Brand was a guy, but Baron, I think BD is probably my favorite Clipper in history, outside of PJ Tucker, of course.
And we'll get to that. We got a whole segment on PJ Tucker. I hope you brought the jersey with you to New York it's your blankie or something. You got to have it.
I almost packed it. I almost was like, man, should I bring the PJ to but I'm gonna get a new one. I'm gonna get a new one shipped once I get my apartment, because I'm still in the hotel right now. Once I get my apartment, I'm gonna get the new style shipped to me.
We'll talk about jerseys coming up too, and the recent one that just dropped yesterday. Actually, the new City Edition.
Is that one true? Is that one for real? It was a rumor.
It sounds like it, because every team had a new one out there. I don't think somebody's just making all these up. Some would like them to be made up because the Lakers one looks god awful, and I would say more than half of them do not look good. And Nike is taking a lot of incoming right now from some of these jersey designs. But you kind of talked about being the outsider in your own city with the team that you root for and how popular the Lakers are. Well, what's it like being in the entertainment business, surrounded by plenty of Laker fans there too?
Well, what I love about that is none of these dudes can beat me up. So I'm very strong. And entertainment guys, they can talk all the crap they want to.
I don't know. I heard Michael Clark Duncan was a Laker fan, man. He might have been able to take you.
Well, rest in peace to that man. He probably was the last one.
Does it get annoying with the amount of crap you can take from Laker fans over the years?
Yeah, it gets annoying. Oh my gosh, man. When I became like, that's one of the most annoying things about being in a bit of the public eye is Laker fans and how annoying they are.
Is that why you're not on Twitter? Is that it?
Yeah, that's the main reason. No, it was just during the pandemic. It was a cesspool. I had to get out of there.
Yeah, it was. It still is.
Yeah, it's even worse now.
Yeah, your burner knows well. Okay, so New Jerseys. I want to go back a little bit because I found a webpage that has every Clippers jersey imaginable from every era. I want to know what jerseys you have, what jerseys you'd still like to get, if you're excited about these new jerseys coming, because I think I just did the screenshot here. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to the beginning of your Clippers fanship. You said late 90s, 98, 99 season.
Yeah. So I have a Lamar Odom in that style of jersey. I have a red Lamar Odom, not the white one, but I have the red one. The one right before they changed it to what we know as the Knuckleheads era. I have that jersey in Lamar Odom.
That's nice.
Yeah. You can even go further back than that. If you scroll down even further and see, I'll tell you, I got some real throwbacks.
How far back? We going to Buffalo?
Nah, not Buffalo. You can stop right there.
Okay, Norm Nixon style here?
Yeah, I have that. I have a Norm Nixon in white.
Ooh.
And I have a Bill Walton in blue.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, those are two outstanding choices from Carl Tart. You could not go wrong with either of those guys. I know Bill didn't play a lot back then, but the jerseys were still fire, and it was a big deal they got him.
Yeah.
By the way, that Ralph Lawler interview I did over the weekend, hopefully part 1 is dropping soon here. Okay, so what do you not like? Which of these jerseys are you against? I mean, most people love the retro stuff, no matter what it is.
You see that 1987-88 one that has the Los Angeles script on it? That is the grail right there. That jersey is the grail.
Is it? So you don't have it?
I do not have that one because that one is impossible to find.
Who you getting? Danny Manning?
Danny Manning wasn't on the team yet. By the time Danny Manning came, it was on. That's 87-88. He got drafted 88-89. So
they saying it was both seasons. I think.
Oh, well, maybe he did play in one of those. I thought he came when they switched to just the Clippers script.
Oh, okay.
But in that first Clippers script, so I do have a the Lamar Odom, and then when you scroll back up to the 2000-2001, of course I got Darius Miles in white and red. I have
he was your favorite.
Yeah. I have Darius Miles in white and red. I also have Darius Miles with a jersey that they don't have on here. I have a Darius Miles San Diego Clippers jersey.
Ooh. And that was an alternate from the early 2000s?
Yeah. And I have a scroll up a little bit. I have Quentin Richardson in that San Diego, that white San Diego right there. I have Quentin Richardson. Yeah. I got Quentin Richardson in that.
That's nice. Okay. I like that alternate. Man.
Yeah, that one's cool.
I like that a lot.
And I also have a one that I don't think they ever played in, but it's a red jersey that has Clippers kind of going fast across it. In like, do you remember what the floor logo looked like back then? That Clippers, I don't think they ever played in these. I think this was just like when Nike and Swingman were just experimenting with jerseys, but I got a Quentin Richardson in that one too.
Okay. So you got some rare stuff.
And I got an Andre Miller in white.
What do you know about this?
I do not have that one. That one would be really cool to get.
Checker down the side. That's not bad.
That one would be really cool to get. I got an Andre Miller in that white right there.
Andre Miller, Clippers legend. No, he did not want to be a Clipper. That did not end up working out well. Yeah. But damn it seemed like a decent trade at the time.
He was a dog. And then that blue one, I have in that blue. I also have another Quentin Richardson.
Okay.
You're really making me realize I got too many of these.
You got like a Batman closet for the Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles ones. You just got so many jerseys.
Now in that I got Baron Davis in that blue.
Which one? The blue I just brought up?
Yeah. I got Baron Davis in that one too.
Your favorite, BD, who probably got a raw deal because he thought he was going to be playing with Elton Brand. Yeah. And it also just seemed like the injuries over time mounted and it sapped some of his athleticism. In fact, I think Ralph Lawler talked about that in his book where Baron Davis told him that, he lost some of his explosiveness, or he didn't feel as explosive as a Clipper.
Yeah.
It was apparent.
Right
What
now,
about some of the Lob City era stuff here?
that whole row, I have those in Blake.
These all four?
Yeah. I don't have that. I don't have the blue Los Angeles Angels one or whatever it's called.
That's not bad.
I don't have that one. Los Angeles Stars is what that one is.
Stars across the side, yeah.
I don't have that one, but I do have the red, white, and blue, the home, away, and alternate in Blake. I also have the red and blue in CP3. Mm-hmm. And I also have that. I got that.
Don't say it. The sleeved?
I got the other sleeve, the one that's above that one.
The one above it here. I couldn't stand
the Christmas Day jersey. I have that one. I have that exact jersey. I have the.
This is not real. This is. I can't believe the NBA thought this would catch on. Now maybe
I don't know why they thought it would too, but I bought it.
Did you wear it? Was it comfortable?
No, because the sleeves are too tight, but the midsection is big, so it just doesn't fit well.
Like, it's amazing to me that one of the all-time legendary moments in NBA history happens in 2016, where LeBron is wearing a sleeved Cleveland Cavaliers shirt because the NBA were pushing those so hard.
Yeah. Oh, also I forgot to mention one. I have a Blake in red, rookie year Blake, and if you go down to the previous jersey style, down two.
Oh, these ones with the Clippers on the front.
Yeah, I have a Blake Griffin in red in that one.
These are solid. Yeah. I like the red from when you go back a little further. I like this red more.
Yeah, that one's great.
That's kind of what people were pining for, and that's kind of what they're getting now.
A little bit. We got the red Los Angeles. I can't wait till that one comes out. They're saying January or something like that.
Have you been to the flagship store?
I have not. I was gonna go before I got this job. So
freaking SNL just ruining everything in your life, Carl.
I want to get that. You see that clip, that Christmas jersey right there? I want to get that one. I don't have that one.
This almost should have sleeves. I don't even know. Yeah. That's cut off so there's so little margin there from the neck. It's not bad though. Red on red with the red lettering there too.
Yeah, not bad. Oh, I got one more to show you. If you scroll up, I'm sure we're about to see it. So I got that CP3 jersey right there, with the
Black
LAC. No, the red one with the LAC and the number next to it.
Ooh,
I have that jersey. I have that in CP3. I got that at Marshall's for $20.
It's $20 too much. I like these Christmas jerseys right here. I like these, Carl.
Those are that to me. That's the Austin Rivers Christmas jersey. I don't know why Austin Rivers stands out in that jersey for me, but that's the Austin Rivers jersey for me.
A few more alternates here.
That white I have. I've been looking for a Jamal Crawford in this style, but I also just don't like this jersey. I hate it when the pool noodles when they first came out with these. This was Ballmer's first year. I hated these.
You're saying the underscore under the lettering is a pool noodle?
Yeah. I hated that. I hated the pool noodle.
Oh, you're right. You're not wrong.
All right, now all of those. So of course I have in the white I have a Kawhi, I have a PG, I have a Russell Westbrook, and then in the blue I have just the newer ones. In the blue I have a Lou Will, I have a Pat Bev, I have a PG, and a Kawhi. In the black I have a PG and a Kawhi. And in
which black? These ones with the at symbol?
Yeah.
What about the Mr. Cartoon jerseys, the San Andreas font? I love these.
So I have that in PG and my name because they sent me one.
Nice.
So I have that one in Kawhi and Pat Bev.
I hope these still make an appearance in future seasons. And the fact that they still have this emblem inside Intuit Dome, I think it's a big banner in one of the spots. That gives me hope that we're still not done with the San Andreas, because I think those are some of the best alternates out there. Did you get a Buffalo Braves jersey?
I did not. I got some t-shirts, but I don't really like that jersey.
What, the color scheme or the
I just don't like that it says Buffalo
angled?
Braves. Like I'd rather just buy.
You don't like Bob McAdoo?
Y'all
don't love the West Coast?
Nothing personal against him. Will you scroll down? I forgot to tell you. So you see the '84 Olympic alternate?
Oh yes, sir.
Edition. I got that in Louisville, and that's probably my favorite Clipper jersey I own. I love that jersey.
These were polarizing. I I don't
I
love
wanted them
them.
to change before we got our new logo. I wanted that to be the logo.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted to change the team's branding to that.
okay. So let's talk about the new stuff. At first, with this gray one that came out, I don't know if you were a fan.
Hated that. I didn't want that in my closet. And I have
Was it because of the
50,
color or because it wasn't red when everybody thought we're finally getting the red one?
because of the color. Who wants a gray jersey? It's so boring. Like it's not
Yeah.
making any. Don't You can't call that a statement jersey when you're not making any type of statement. Okay, that jersey right there, I got a PG.
Yes. Yes.
I got a P.
Yes.
I got a PG in that one. That was one of my favorites too because they finally brought back the script, and I was happy that Balmer was leaning into that because I thought the rumor was he was never gonna have that again.
With the little San Diego colors here with the salmon and the
Yeah.
light blue. And then I like this one a lot too.
All right.
This
So
was from
I have that in. I have an authentic Terrence Mann, like a gameplay Terrence Mann in that one, and I have John Wall in that one.
ooh.
And in the one next to that, I got a PG, which is probably the best fitting one I have.
What, this one right here?
Yeah. I got a PG in this one.
See, these are okay, the San Andreas, but a little bit too much going on for me with the sails here. And then the red and the blue just stands out a lot more. And I don't know. I love the black and white. I know people were saying they look too much like San Antonio, but I was a fan. Okay, so last season.
Too much like
Yeah,
San Antonio,
I understand.
too much like Brooklyn Nets, too much like I don't think any jersey should be black and white. I
Okay.
think our team colors are red, white, and blue. Let's make every jersey red, white, and blue.
So last season, these were the city edition ones. Do you have one of the Clips ones?
I do. I have PJ Tucker in the Clips.
Oh.
And I have James Harden in white.
And this one right here, the home white.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm rooting for PJ. I hope it all works out. I hope he's still on the team. I hope he's a contributor. But now, this just came out yesterday, and from everything we know, it's official. Coming from Nike, it's the same thing, but the lighter blue, which I really like. I think they pop more. I think it's a better color. It's almost like Chargers powder blue. Everybody loves that.
Yeah. I don't mind this. I would like a little bit more color in it. I don't mind that being the main color. I would love to have some orange accents in here somewhere, some red accents or something. But I don't mind this being the city edition. I most likely will buy one, but I still haven't gotten the new jersey yet. Period. I haven't gotten any of the new style yet.
So here's the new home jerseys in the white. I love it, Carl. I was scared. I was concerned. They talked about the rebranding. Some people haven't come around yet on the logo, but I think most it's grown on them. But nobody said a damn thing about the jerseys when they came out, when they first showed them off. They're beautiful. They're perfect to me.
They are great. I wish they would have done a V-neck because I love a V-neck jersey.
Okay.
But I beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
And we begged for new logos, and this is what that one is so sweet. And that red one is so
this
sick.
Is it.
I am getting that day one.
Who's the guy? Who's the player?
I think I'm gonna go with the one you're looking at right now. I think I'm gonna go Norm, man. I don't have any Norm jerseys.
I think this is Norm. I like a Norman Powell jersey. I love the red ones. Some people want the lettering to be white, but I like this dark blue they're using.
I think if they had done white accents on that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been all right. But again, this is something to behold. This is what people have been asking for 10 years now. So
that's a sick jersey. I can't wait till they play in them. I wish Russ was still on the team because I would have got that in a Russ.
Red because it's going to be a hot seller at the flagship store. All right, so there was a little bit of jersey reflection review and a preview of things to come that we are excited about here. Carl, let's talk about the team a little bit more and what's to come in this season. But maybe I should at least follow up on something. How many jerseys do you have in total now?
How many did we count just then? Over probably 20? Around 20. Yeah.
Over 20 probably. You're going to get a new red one at least.
And I'm going to get probably the white and the blue as well.
And the light blue clips.
The main three. I'm the jury's still out on that light blue for me.
Okay,
I got to see what I'm gonna wear with it.
that's fair.
See what the hat game. And once they come out with the hats for that one, that's when I'll make a decision.
A PJ Tucker jersey leads to some people raising an eyebrow. Now,
Yeah.
you bought it at the start of last season, I'm guessing?
I did.
PJ Tucker was one of your guys?
I just like I like PJ Tucker's swag. I've liked him in the league. He's not working well for us. But I've liked him in the league. I like who he is. I like the shoe thing. I got a lot of shoes myself.
Didn't you write or were in an episode of a show on Netflix, Sneakerheads?
I wrote a couple episodes of a TV show called Sneakerheads. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some experience. You have a wardrobe with a section dedicated to shoes.
I absolutely do. It was so hard. That was one of the hardest things with the move here. Was trying to figure out what shoes I was going to bring.
What are a couple of your favorite pairs?
Here, I'll show you what I got. Well, I'll show you what I did bring.
Yeah, let's see what you got with the clean kicks over here.
Yeah, these are two of mine. So I got the patent leather AJ ones, and I got the royal toe AJ ones here. These aren't mids.
Good Lord!
These are two of the ones that I brought with me.
Just give me some of. You talked about a holy grail for a jersey. What shoes are you on the hunt for still that you need to complete your collection?
Man, I want those Deons.
When did the Colorado ones or the old ones?
The old ones. I love the old ones, but the Colorado ones look just like the old ones. I like those quite a bit. Who else we got? We got. I really would like a pair of the Huarache 2K4s, the red, white, and blue Huarache 2K4s.
Okay.
I think Kobe played in them that year, and they were the 2004 Olympics.
I'm pulling them up right here. My favorite shoes probably of all time are still the original pennies.
Yeah.
The OG Penny Hardaways. I like his Foamposite ones too. These are nice. I like those.
And the ones right next to those, the second image, that's the Grail shoe.
Which one here?
That one, yeah, that one. And matter of fact, John Wall took his press day pictures in those.
Oh, I should have seen him then.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
Okay, these are nice.
I had a pair of those. I had a pair of the first one that you pulled up. I had a pair of those when I was in high school, and I played in them in high school, and I missed those shoes quite a bit. I think my mom donated them when I went to college because they were beat up pretty bad.
I remember going to the Nike outlet in like 99 or 2000 and finally picking up a pair of these Penny Hardaways. They fell apart within like 3 weeks. But damn it, I had them. I don't know. They were at the outlet, I think, for a reason.
You can find those though, Adam. You can get those for a decent price on in the resale market.
I'm guessing they've done some reissues on these.
Yeah,
right?
they've done some reissues on those. You can get those.
My other favorite shoes ever were the T-Mac 3s. I don't know if you know about this, but the ones he wore at the All-Star game, the blue ones, these are some of my favorites because Adidas did not do Kobe right, but I love the T-Macs.
I had the T-Mac ones. Everybody had those in 2003.
Look at that blue. Look at the white stripe.
Oh, you like those, huh? Those are your jams?
I love those. I love those so much. They're probably uncomfortable as hell. I think they run narrow, the Adidas, and I got a wide foot, but damn. Yeah. He was wearing one of each in the All-Star game. I didn't realize that at the time. That's a beautiful thing. All right. We've gone down too many wormholes here. Let's get a little bit back on track here. Carl Tart is our guest here on Clippers Talk. New member of the Saturday Night Live cast. He is a writer, and we'll see what happens after that. I'm guessing it's not going to take long to make his take his talents into another area there at Saturday Night Live at 30 Rock. Okay, so we talked about one bad jersey with PJ Tucker, but I hear all the time from the Clips and Dip guys that it's not just one. When you buy a jersey of a Clippers player, they typically end up getting traded. Is there a real Carl Tart curse?
I hope not. I think I just like dudes that are on the block, like on the bubble. Because I like John Wall put on that jersey. John Wall's been such an electrifying player in his career. When he puts on a Clippers jersey, I want that jersey. Like Russell Westbrook put on that jersey, I was like, I have to get one. Like, that's been one of my favorite players of all time. He had a terrible year with the Lakers right before we got him, and then he stepped up a little bit with us, but it wasn't always consistent. But when you get a guy like that, like if we were to get, who's a guy in the league right now that probably is on his way out that I've always liked this game. If Derrick Rose comes to the Clippers,
okay,
I'm getting a Derrick Rose jersey.
I understand that logic then. It's just like, yeah, we know he's not the same player that he used to be, but it's still cool that he has a Clippers jersey now, and he was one of my all-time favorites.
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
And PJ has always he's not one of my all-time favorite players, but he's like, he got an all-time swag. And I'm just like, oh, this dude's playing for my team. I'm gonna get his jersey. Like, I can get it if I want to. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't. But Terrence Mann, I was getting nervous because I was like, I don't want Terrence Mann to get traded. I also like having, like, I was thinking about getting an Amir Coffee jersey or something, but then I felt like if I wore that to a jersey, it'd be weird because he didn't play very often. And he'd probably look in the crowd and be like, who's this guy with my jersey on? He's a weirdo.
Hey, he got love in 2024. He was playing in that playoff series too. Didn't have a great series, but overall he helped this team this year. Yeah. I love an Amir Coffee jersey. So you're saying Norman Powell is the next one, and you're getting a red. But
I don't want him to get traded. Because I have a signed basketball from Norman Powell that he signed on the court and threw it into the crowd, and I caught it.
I thought you meant like you asked him to sign something and then he threw it into the crowd. No, that was for me, Norm. What?
No, I was sitting in the crowd. He had just like won us the game, and you know how they signed the game ball at the end and threw it in the crowd, and I caught it.
That's awesome. Is that on video somewhere?
My hands outstretched. I don't think so. I don't think anybody caught it on video.
You got to use that Olympic music. Yeah. Make it all epic. Cool. Norman Powell's a great Clipper. I have heard some rumors of, maybe he's a guy that could be on the trading block, but we talked about it before coming into last season. And then he helped form one of their best lineups, the Powell Rangers. So if anything, they should need him more with no Paul George. So that might be a safe bet now with Norman Powell.
I think I owe it to Zoo to get a Zoo jersey.
Oh, now we're talking. The transition, the lob, the jam here. A segue into Ivica Zubac's talk, brought to you by Carl Tart. What color are you getting the Zubac jersey in?
I might get his in the city edition.
Okay. Eclipse Zubac jersey. Sounds like you're warming up to the big fella.
Or I might just get his jersey in the old style because it'll be on sale.
Hey, how dare you? He's not getting traded. It's not going to show up at Marshall's or Ross or anything like that. Or TJ Maxx.
I might get his jersey on the resale market somewhere on eBay. I'm sure they got one on eBay laying around.
Come on. This guy just got an extension, Carl Tart. He's with us for 4 years here.
I know.
So it's not like you're the only one that has felt this way about Ivica Zubac for some time, but let me see if I can pinpoint some of the, frustration that a certain part of Clippers Nation has had with Ivica Zubac. Because he came in from the Lakers, and that first season, or the first full season, he had broken hand or hands. I think both were broken at one point. He played through it, but he couldn't catch the basketball. And I feel like that first impression of Ivica Zubac fumbling so many basketballs has stuck with him, and he hasn't been able to shake that reputation. Could that be it? Please tell
Adam, me. I have season tickets. I have seen a lot of Ivica Zubac games. I've seen games. I was there for Ivica Zubac's 29-31 game, and I was like, that is my center. There we go.
You claimed him for one day.
That's my center. I cried in the press conference. That's my center, man. That's my center.
Oh, the TO press conference.
Yeah.
That's my quarterback. That's my center.
That's my center. But there have been some moments where I just want more consistency. I just want more consistency from the big man. And you can I know you got the numbers already locked in your brain. I know you do, Adam. But numbers sometimes lie. And Zubac is good for I told you what I need from him this season.
What was the stat line you wanted?
Didn't I say 16 and 10?
I think that's fair. Honestly, I think it's totally reasonable. He's the third most impactful, important player on this team. If he's not getting 16 and 10, they're in deep trouble, I think.
Yeah, I need him to average a double-double this year.
And
I need a healthier double. I don't want 10 and 10. I want more points than that. I need them points up. because I need him to make the shots around the basket. But defensively, Zubac's actually, like, I've given him his props. I said if we calling Jokic the best center in the league, Zubac actually plays pretty decent defense against him. Maybe
I'd say
Euro stuff.
Probably better than anyone. It's remarkable what he does against Jokic.
It's very weird how good he is against Jokic. Like, because
he gets up for those games.
Because there are players that he doesn't do that against. Like Joel, he can't guard. But like he
does well against AD. He plays AD strong.
AD cooks that man.
Hey, he had a game last season where I thought he outplayed AD. Clippers still lost by like 2, but I thought he had like 20 and 19, I think.
He did have a good game. I was at that game. But that was the first. I usually don't go to Clippers Lakers. That was the first time I went. And
tell me about that. Tell me about that.
Too anxiety driven.
Because the game means so much to you, and you don't want to see Lakers fans have bragging rights right in your face.
Yeah.
That's hardcore. I respect that.
I get too invested in it. I like to watch that game from home. I like to watch that game, lay it on my rug in the middle of my living room, just like just screaming. It's too anxiety driven.
Have you because back in my day with the Sacramento Kings, when I was a hardcore fan of theirs in the early 2000s, and they're playing the Lakers, and that's one of the reasons I don't like the Lakers, I was known for punching some holes in walls. What's the worst thing you have done out of frustration from a Clippers loss?
Just raise my blood pressure really high. I'm not a wall puncher, but I definitely have.
You just almost died.
Yeah. I've gotten very shaky and very like argumentative, but it gets tough, man, because it just feels like sometimes down in those stretches where the refs aren't giving us anything, especially against the Lakers. If what's his name, Eric Davis, if he's reffing, we not getting nothing.
I didn't know you had names here. I didn't know you had specific refs. Yeah. I thought you were going to say, who is it, Scott Foster, if anybody.
Oh, he didn't used to like Chris Paul. I remember those days.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't get a playoff win when he was out there officiating.
Nah.
Yeah, I remember Eric Davis. I don't know.
Maybe it's not Eric Davis, but it's the bald head guy who gets in the players' faces a lot. Like he really has to prove that he's not intimidated by the player.
Oh, he's peacocking out there.
Yeah. And I don't like that. Refs shouldn't have egos.
Hell yeah. I agree with you.
You got a job to do. Do your damn job.
Refs shouldn't be stars. That was my problem with the way David Stern made it during his era as the commissioner. You knew so many refs' names, and that was part of the show almost. And I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. I do not think anybody came to see any officials. Do you feel like overall the Clippers get the short end of the stick massively when it comes to calls?
I do.
And do you think?
But I don't know if that's actually true. But I do believe, like, it feels like that sometimes. Like I've definitely gone to Laker games and Clipper games back-to-back nights and seeing what the Lakers get away with and seeing how little the Clippers get away with. And it's been like, oh, there's a disparity here. And sometimes it's the same zebra crew. Like sometimes it's the same crew because they're in LA and it's back-to-back.
I know because the Clipcast guys came on with me recently, and they asked me a question about, because they figured I had the stat on this, of course, that, you know me, Carl. They asked me how many more free throws the Lakers have gotten over the past couple of seasons. And I actually was able to find this, and it goes to your point of just the benefit of the calls for a team that actually finished, I think, last in drives per game, which usually correlates with you getting more free throws. The more times you drive in a game towards the basket, it usually creates a little bit of contact. But in this case, for some reason, the Lakers are last in drives per game over the last season, or right there. But also, since the 2022-2023 season, their free throw differential is almost plus 700.
Yeah.
To the next team in line. Oh, who would it be? The New York Knicks. Look at this drop off. They've taken 1,017 more free throws than their opponents over the last 2 seasons, the Lakers. Yeah.
It's wild. It's like, and that's the last 2 seasons have been ridiculous with the amount of free throws being called and the amount of fouls being called. And of course, Laker fans go, "We're a driving team. That's what we do." And it's like every team's a driving team. Even teams that aren't driving teams are driving teams. Nobody's getting those calls, and it's BS.
Here's the Clippers. They did finish top 10. They're a plus 226, so they're about 800 calls behind where the Lakers are when it comes to free throw differential. It is interesting how Golden State is minus 646, but then you think about their style of play, they take a bunch of three-pointers from the outside. They're taking less free throws because of that.
Yeah.
So it is, I don't know what to make of it. All I know is a plus 700 compared to the team in second place. The Lakers are at 1017. The Knicks are at 358 in plus free throw differential over a 2-season span. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, I don't know. It's worth paying attention to.
Mark Davis is the name.
Mark Davis. Okay. Yeah,
Mark
Eric Davis, I feel like, was a cornerback for my Carolina Panthers back in the day.
Yeah, and he played for the guy that played for the Cincinnati Reds. But Mark Davis.
Two-way athlete. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Okay, so we've talked about the Lakers a little bit. We've talked about the Clippers, and we've handled the Ivica Zubac situation. You are hopeful, and you are going to buy a jersey, and you're coming around with Big Zoo, and part of it is on him, and part of it's on the team. Mm-hmm. If he's going to improve and get to 16 points per game, he has to take more than 7 shots per game. They have to get him the basketball. He better be taking 10-plus shots per game, probably closer to 13 or 14 this season. So his teammates got to recognize, hey, this guy just got paid. The front office believes in him. We think the coaching staff believes in him. Give him the minutes. He'll give you the production. That's what I say with Big Zoo. But he does need to be more consistent because he's going to have more responsibility. So he's got to prove that he can be reliable every night out when he gets those 30 minutes. But
the lob connection between him and James Harden is great.
So he had legit one of the best stretches of his career last season when he and James Harden and the Clippers offense was really humming when they went 26-5. A lot of that was just high pick and roll. James Harden is one of the masters of it, maybe the best ever, and he is able to find Ivica Zubac and make life easier for him. How important do you think it is having James Harden in training camp now heading into this season and having him as no longer the third option without Paul George? He's the second option, and on a lot of nights, if Kawhi's not there, he's the guy.
Yeah, and I like that. I like the fact that he's in training camp. I think he's feeling the heat of his career right now. That people are kind of down on him. People are ranking him one of the top shooting guards of all time. They have him at number 4 behind Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and then it's James Harden. But there's a difference between all those guys and him. And I think he wants to finally do this. And I think for a person who's from LA, even though, he might not have grown up a Clipper fan or anything, I think it would be really cool. And I know he would feel how cool it would be to bring the Clippers a championship.
I hope people realize Jerry West played a lot of shooting guard too. It needs to be included in that group, the late, great Jerry West now. But yeah, he's a top 5 all-time shooting guard. Mm-hmm. And it is going to be interesting to see at the age of 35, as he just turned that, he'll be 35 throughout the season with the Clippers, what he's capable of now getting older. Because he only took 11 shots per game as a Clipper last season, Carl, which is crazy.
Yeah, obviously, up that.
Yeah, his lowest amount. And we've talked a lot about the offense and missing Paul George and missing shot creators and how they're going to adjust with life without Paul George. Can they still be a top offense? So I did a little bit of research. And over the past 12 seasons, the lowest a James Harden offense has ranked is 12th. And his team's averaged the 5th best offense over 12 seasons, basically since he became the man in Houston, the guy we know him as now. So I'm more hopeful than I thought I was just looking at the numbers, because I was kind of worried they might only be 15th offensively or 13th or 14th. I think there's a chance they could still be a top 10 offense just because it's the reputation of James Harden. It's what he does.
Yeah, Kawhi's money from mid-range. James Harden is an offensive juggernaut. If Ivica Zubac can average more shots and can make those shots, especially the shots around the basket, and no more blown layups and stuff like that, we have a big chance of still being a top 10 offense. I hope Terrence Mann is working on his jump shot this offseason. I hope Derrick Jones Jr. is working on his jump shot this offseason. We're going to have Kevin Porter Jr. I understand the controversial player, but he's going to be on the team. So I think he has a lot of production in him. I hope Chris Dunn is working on his jump shot. I hope these boys are shooting. I know Norm is. I know Norm's working on his. We've seen videos of it.
Norm shot almost 44% from three last season. It went under the radar just how efficient he was.
I mean, he was in the running. He was top 2 for 6 man of the year all season. Then that just kind of dissipated. But what's my other guy's name? Jordan Miller. I hope he might be able to crack this lineup.
Do you like the fact that it looks like, as much as we've talked about offense here, because we're concerned on that end, I'm less concerned about the defense this season.
I'm not concerned at all about the defense. I think we'll have a very good defense. But Adam, you and I both know this Western Conference is going to be a humdinger this year. And so if we want to stay out of that damn play-in, we're going to have to be firing on all cylinders. We're going to have the healthiest season we've ever had. And because it is not easy. Those teams are young and top-heavy.
What do you think about the health of Kawhi Leonard? Because we had Om Youngmasuk on Monday, and he believes, just like many of us, that they have to load manage him. He shouldn't be playing both games of a back-to-back anymore. It's just you can't do it.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be that dark cloud lingering over us. I think he has to sit some of those games, especially back-to-backs. I was upset with when the schedule came out, considering that we do have our own arena now, and yet we still have like 5 games in 7 nights and stuff like that. It's wild to me.
They had the second toughest strength of schedule. They have 16 back-to-backs. No, they don't have any matinee home games. Great.
Yeah, but who cares at this point? The schedule is still really hard.
And how many teams have a better schedule than them that don't have their own arena dedicated to them like the Clippers have now? That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
That's what the Lakers are still second billing over the Kings, and they got a better schedule. Like, why is that? How does that happen?
Yeah.
It's frustrating. But do you like overall the way this team is constructed, that we're getting back to a scrappier type of Clippers team that is maybe more recognizable and more consistent with who they're going to be on a night-to-night basis?
You know, Adam, if I'm honestly speaking from my heart of hearts, I can't say that I'm overall happy with it, but I'm content with it. And I wish we could get one more piece. I don't know where I want that piece to fit. I just want a knockdown shooter. Like, I just want who is Danny Green in the league right now. Like, I want to, and not old Danny Green, not Lakers 2020 Danny Green. Who is Toronto Raptors Danny Green?
I mean, I'm hoping Cam Christie can become a guy like that.
That would be great. That would be great. That's why I think it's good that all those guys are in training camp together, and James Harden is there, because James Harden can get in his leadership bag. Because I think James Harden might be a bit more of a vocal leader than Kawhi is. And
I think that's a bit of an understatement.
Well, yes, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, even Kawhi and PG, because I feel like Kawhi doesn't talk at all, and PG is, kind of soft spoken a little bit at times.
You still salty about PG leaving or the way it happened?
Absolutely.
How'd you feel about those B team comments? And then his dad saying we felt like we were stabbed in the back.
Hated it. And I'm just lack of accountability from what we gave him everything until the end. We gave him everything he could have had to be successful, and we didn't get over that hump. And a lot of that is on him. And the B team thing is like, bro, you grew up in this city. Like, when you first signed here, you were like, I grew up a Clipper fan. I love those Q Rich and D Miles teams, just like I did, because we are of that age where a lot of us became Clipper fans during that time. But him doing that, him like kikiing with those guys talking about the B team, it's like, bro, you're whack. You're a lame ass for that. Like,
you want to talk about the B team when you were trying to be the B player, the number 2 player.
Exactly. I still got a lot of love for PG, but that was lame as hell.
Even if it's true, obviously the Lakers are the preeminent team in town. They would be against any team in the NBA, maybe except for the Boston Celtics if they happen to be here. That's just the way it is. But there's no reason you have to point that out or take shots on the way out or burn any bridges when you had still plenty of people in your corner that I think, he went from having maybe 60-40 cheers to boos for it now being, I think, 90-10 boos to cheers when he comes back.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be there November 6th, right? Even if you're in New York, you got to be back for the PG game.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to be back for that.
SNL, he's dedicated. You heard it here first.
I'm looking at my schedule, and I'm comparing my schedule to what weeks we have hiatuses and stuff like that. But I will be back in town in November around the holidays. So I hopefully will be able to. But I'm going to be selling my season tickets. So they're going to be up on StubHub. To all the listeners out there, go buy them. Please, I need you to.
Hey, put them up on your Twitter account. Oh, I forgot.
Oh, yeah, they can't go up there.
All right, before we get out of here, Carl, I need something from you. And I'm scared to ask because I know what could be coming. I've got a taste of it before. I need your impression of me on Clippers Talk with a caller.
Okay. All right, here we go. You're listening to Clippers Talk. It was a tough one out there tonight, but we finally got a win on the back of Ivica Zubac, probably the best Clipper in the history of all Clipperdom. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you say it's Elton Brand. I don't care if you say it's Kawhi Leonard. I don't care if you say it's James Harden, Russell Westbrook. It's Ivica Zubac. And I'll put my whole damn paycheck on that. We got a caller coming in. We got Adam from the Valley. Adam, what'd you think about tonight's win? I'm going to stop you right there. I can't believe you say something like that. Go ahead. Say what you got to say. I'm not going to cut you off. Say what you got to say.
Yeah, I was just saying that, I thought they played all right.
You thought they played all right? 116 points? 116 points to the other team's 98? You thought they just played all right? Is that all you're going to give them tonight? Is that all you're going to give them? Are you even a real fan of this team? Are you even a real fan? Have you even put in the legwork?
I just really like your show, Adam.
You like my show? You like this show when there's other Clippers shows, when there's clips and dips, when there's Charles Mockler and Will Updike with guests like Carl Tart and Law Murray? You like this show? Come on, man. Don't call. You know what? I'm hanging up, but thanks for calling. I can't take this tonight from you guys. I can't do this. Okay.
That was a little too close to home. I thought I was looking in the mirror all of a sudden. I thought I was, my goodness, is there an echo in here? Carl Tart with a fabulous impression. Hey, this is why SNL got him. Like, if you guys didn't know, season 50 is going to be out of this world. Carl, I couldn't be more proud of you. Honestly, it almost makes me want to cry when you talk about it being your dream and a dream realized like this. It's so cool, man. We're just all super stoked for you. And I haven't watched religiously in years. I will be this season. I will not miss an episode, and I'll be looking for your name in the credits each and every time.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you.
He is Carl Tart. Again, find him on the gram at dammit, DAMMIT Carl. That's where you can get to him. You can get to me at follow Adam A on Twitter. At Clippers Talk is where you're listening to this show, hopefully on the YouTube side, because it was quite the visual experience here with us going through all the Clippers jerseys. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Coming up, we'll have part 1 of the Ralph Lawler interview up in Bend, Oregon. Also coming up next week, we'll have Carlo Jimenez on, radio broadcaster for the Clippers, my partner. He'll be here. I don't know why it took so long. I'm going to have to ask him about that. So some shows to look forward to. Maybe I'll have a live for you tomorrow. But this has been a lot of fun. For Carl Tart, I'm Adam Osland. You've been listening to Clippers Talk.